There are only a few things more creepy than an empty ship sailing the oceans by itself, so in this video we'll be showing you 5 real-life ghost ships. Number 5. The Carroll A. Deering. When commercial ship the Carroll A. Deering was found run aground in North Carolina in 1921, the entire crew was mysteriously missing. Just 1 month earlier, the ship had set sail from Virginia for Rio de Janeiro, Brazil to deliver a cargo of coal. The ship reached its destination, but the events that took place after caused great speculation. Reportedly, the captain wasn't fond of his crew. The first mate made a public threat against the captain's life, which landed him in jail. He was eventually bailed out and the men made amends, but it set a negative tone for the trip home. The incident would also lead investigators to blame mutiny for the disappearance. Later that month, a lightship keeper spotted the Deering, reporting that a man on board advised the anchors were lost. Due to a broken radio, the lightship keeper was unable to report the incident, and then the ship reappeared weeks later without the crew. Rescuers noted that the log, navigation equipment, crew's personal effects and 2 lifeboats were gone. Food was sitting mid-preparation in the galley. Due to the disappearance of several other ships during that time, the government launched an in-depth investigation and came up short. They did note that the Deering was one of the only ships to sail away from an oncoming storm, which led people to believe the Deering's men fell prey to the Bermuda Triangle. Pirates, liquor smugglers, communists and supernatural explanations were tossed about. No official ruling was ever made. Number 4. CAZ-2. On April 15th, 2007, 3 men set out on a journey along the coast of Australia, and 3 days later their ship turned up drifting toward the Great Barrier Reef with everything perfectly in place. Everything, that is, except the men themselves, who were missing. Food was set out on the table, a laptop was open and still turned on, all of the boat's emergency systems were fully functional, and life jackets neatly hung on their hooks. Since the seas were choppy and none of the men were wearing life jackets, it has been hypothesized that one of the men fell overboard and the others perished trying to save him. Number 3. High Aim 6. The story of the High Aim 6 is a strange one. This Taiwanese ship was found drifting in Australian waters without its crew in 2003, though plenty of fuel and provisions remained on board, along with the crew's personal belongings and a hold full of stinky seafood. A forensic examination could find no sign of a struggle, and a search of the 7,300 nautical miles turned up no clues. But 10 days later, after the ship was discovered, calls were being made from Indonesia on the cell phone of one of the ship's missing engineers. The only crew member ever tracked down claimed that the captain and engineer were murdered and the crew headed back to their homes, but no reason was ever given why. Number 2. Jiang Seng. A lot of illegal activities go on in the world's oceans, from illegal fishing to human trafficking, so when mysterious ships of unknown origins turn up, they're automatically suspicious. The Jiang Seng is just one such ship, spotted drifting into uncharted waters near Queensland, Australia in 2006. But once Australian customs officials boarded the ship, they couldn't find evidence of recent human activity at all. In fact, the ship has been stripped with its name and identifying features painted over, and contained nothing but large amounts of rice. Ultimately, since no owner could be found, the ship was intentionally sunken. Number 1. The SS Beichimo. The 1,322-ton cargo ship, the SS Beichimo, was abandoned in 1931 when it became trapped in ice on the Arctic Ocean. It remained afloat and dislodged itself after the crew abandoned it to seek shelter. Over the next several decades, various sightings were reported and several crews managed to climb on board, but the Beichimo has always eluded capture. The last recorded sighting was in 1969, 38 years after it was first abandoned. The Alaskan government opened an investigation in 2006 to determine if the Beichimo is still afloat or finally sank, but investigators still haven't located the ship. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome lists of all things 5. This is All 5, and until next time, feed your mind.